Hello guys, so me and Alex are going to go through our top 5 World Championship moments over the years and just have a bit of a chat about them and what sort of happened and any nostalgia that was sort of come from it as well. So I'll start. So my number 5 was when James Richardson beat Roman van Barneveld in what was it, the first? I'm pretty sure it was the first round. It was a really, really early game either way. I just remember Richardson just checked out 145 like 2 or 3 times, and it was kind of like he'd come out of nowhere and he played, and he was not supposed to beat Barney whatsoever, and he did, and it was like a real shock. Like no one expected that to happen. And it was one of those games where just because it was such a shock, it was like everyone was talking about it. So for me, yeah, my 5th favourite World Championship moment is the Richardson beating Barney. What's coming as your number 5?
I just want to mention your one as well, because I think it's a cracking shout. And I was in the company of James Richardson just a few weeks ago on the seniors tour, and he still gets asked about it now. What is it, 13, 14 years later?
Yeah.
And the 145 finishes, he told me he's not took one out since in a game. So yeah, he must have used them all up for that one. But yeah, great moment, one of the big upsets. Number 5 for me on my list, I'm going to go a bit more recent. Last year in the World Championship, a friend of mine, Reece Griffin, qualified through the last chance qualifiers to get his debut at the World Championship, and he won his first game. He beat Karol Sedlacek 3-0. It was a great day out, just for personal reasons really. We all got together, went in the pub that he plays in on a Thursday night, the Crofters, sat there in the afternoon. It was the first game on, and yeah, great day getting to watch him on the big screen win on his World Championship debut, something that I'm sure he won't forget, and everyone who was there watching won't forget as well.
Yeah. You know what? Saying that, I am actually going to remove one of my choices. I'm going to remove that one. Just for anyone interested, I was going to say when Barney won the Worlds, but I am going to change it now you've said that, because a few years ago I went to the World Championships with Darren Webster, shared a room with him, and that was the game against Adrian Lewis.
Oh, nice.
So it was a really, really good game of darts. That was when it was like considered the greatest set of all time in darts, and I was in the crowd for that. And yeah, that was just really fun. I was gutted he didn't win, but at the same time, he was playing against like my favourite player. So it was kind of like one of those. I didn't really mind. I would have rather if Darren won because I was with him, but yeah, it was just like the whole experience of like being there and sort of going behind the scenes and stuff, and then actually getting to watch Darren and play one of my favourite games of darts I've ever watched, and it was one of my mates against my favourite dart player of all time. So I would put that as my 4. Realistically, I'd probably put that as my number 1, but I've already decided what I want to put. So I'm going to remove this 4 and I'm going to put this in there. So that's my number 4.
Nah, like it, great shout. Number 4 for me, I'm going to go with someone that I don't know. He's not invited me to watch him play darts yet. Michael van Gerwen. He 17 perfect darts. I think it was 2012, 2013 when he was coming back up the rankings. Hit a 9-darter against James Wade. Next leg, goes 8 perfect darts, misses the double 12. I mean, if he'd have got that second 9-darter back-to-back legs, that's basically completing darts, isn't it? Never been done before. I don't think it'll ever be done, really. I don't think anyone else has come close since then. We've seen players get 2 9-darters in a game, 2 9-darters in a tournament, but Van Gerwen, when he did that, showed the world why he is one of the greatest of all time at that early age, and look what he's gone on to achieve. So for me, when we look at the magical moments that have happened on the World Championship stage, Van Gerwen, 17 perfect darts for me.
Yeah, I remember watching that. I was at the pub having a darts practice with my mates, and I remember the first 9-darter going and be like, oh cool, there's a 9-darter, that's great. And then he just kept going, and yeah, I don't think I've been that excited about watching what could have happened. That just would have been unbelievable if he'd gone 9-darter, but there's still time. Someone could do it. I quite fancy a little guy called Luke Littler to have a go at that at some point. Hopefully does it on double 12, not double 15. Because otherwise, I hate double 15. Really. Hate it. Anyway, my 3rd, I've got Adrian Lewis hitting a blind 180 against Peter Manley. I don't know when that was. That was obviously a very, very long time ago. But I just remember thinking it was like the coolest thing that had ever happened in darts at the time. Like no one had it's not even like he'd attempted it beforehand and missed a few times before he finally got it. It was like the first time he tried it, it went in, and everyone was like, what has just happened. That is just the most outrageous thing ever in darts. Nowadays, obviously it happens all the time. It's quite common, and a lot of players nowadays, they do these blind 180s, and they're not blind. They're not. They just move your head at the last second. That is what Lewis did. Lewis did just move his head at the last second, but because it was so uncommon, everyone was just going crazy over it. Nowadays, not so fun, but back then, unbelievable.
I think it was, I want to say 2005, so it's like the 05-06 World Championship, and I want to say it was his debut as well. So his debut at the Circus Tavern, going up against Peter Manley, who was one of the big boys at the time. I think that was the game when he walked off the stage as well.
I think it was that game.
Don't know if it happened before or after the blind 180. I have to go and check, but yeah, that was a magical moment. And to think it's took 20 years for someone to come up with another one on the evolution. We've had the blind 180. We've now had the blind 3 from me at the Unicorn launch.
Yeah. I wonder where you're going there.
But I mean, it's loads of people do the blind 180s, but he was the first, and to do it on his debut at the World Championship, yeah, it showed everyone at that early age why Adrian Lewis is a special player and legend of darts as well.
Yeah, that was great. What was your number 3?
Number 3, again, another player with legendary status, given what she achieved at the World Championship, Fallon Sherrock, end of 2019, becoming the first female player to win on the World Championship stage in the PDC, beating Ted Evitts and then beating Mensah Suljovic, getting to the last 32, and kind of got forgotten really, the game with Chris Dobey. I think it was 4-2 to Chris in the end. That was a pretty close game as well for a lot of it. So for me, that was, we talk about the Luke Littler effect, what that's done for darts, but you go back to Fallon Sherrock, darts was front page news after that. She was appearing in loads of different media outlets, on TV, radio, newspapers. She was everywhere, and she made darts big for a long time during that time. And kind of unfortunate really, we had the pandemic after that, and that really kind of stunted her progress a little bit. But I think when we come to the World Championship, the female players are on the stage. She's the one that made history first, the first player to win, and yeah, to go back to back as well, back it up with another win after all the hype from that first game. That's my number 3.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I remember thinking darts will never be this big ever again, and it is now because of Luke Littler. But I remember thinking nothing will ever go higher than what Fallon did for darts during that World Championships. I would say it since has gone higher, but that at the time that was unbelievable to see Fallon Sherrock on breakfast TV and stuff, and like being guests on all these massive TV programs and stuff. Yeah, that was really, really good. Coming in at my number 2, I have got the Willie Ball in 9 darter against Brad Brooks. So that was I think it was the first round or prelim or wherever it was, last leg decider, and he hit a 9. And yeah, I'm a big fan of both of them. I do like watching both of them play darts. I remember wanting Brooks to win. I don't remember why, but I remember wanting Brooks to win while I was watching it, and he obviously didn't. But the way that Borland won the game, you can't argue with that. And I still think that's the best 9 darter ever hit. For me, that is the best 9 darter to win a match in that style as well. It's probably for me the best 9 darter ever hit. Yeah, I think it's up there, or it's top 3 maybe.
Yeah, I remember that being the debate actually after Willie got that 9 darter was, is this the greatest 9 darter of all time? And fun fact for everyone watching, I was at Ali Pali for the afternoon session, so I was one session short of seeing that magical 9 darter. But yeah, I've seen it hundreds of times on my phone, on my computer, watching it afterwards. And I remember chatting to Willie not long after that, his manager as well, Matt Ward. It was such a little bit like Fallon Sherrock, not as big, but still quite an amazing moment. And you think of the years since then, it still gets talked about when the World Championship comes up. That clip always comes up as well. And I think quite recently those two played against each other on the Pro Tour. There wasn't a 9 darter to win the game, but Bradley Brooks, I think he took out a 170 finish. So anytime those two go up against each other, they win it with something special.
Yeah. What was your number 2?
Number 2, well, I'm going to stick with the theme of 9 darters here, and this was a visit to Ali Pali where I did see 9 darters. First time going to Ali Pali, I think it was the end of 2013, end of 2014. Kyle Anderson, Terry Jenkins, 2 9 darters in the same session. It was, yeah, for me as a darts fan, getting to go to the Ali Pali for the first time, still in its early years. Obviously, it's been another 10 or so years since then. Not as you know, the tickets didn't go as quickly. You could get them pretty easily back then, but getting to go to the Ali Pali for the first time, seeing a 9-darter, I think it was Terry Jenkins first, and then a game or two later, Kyle Anderson, the late Kyle Anderson throwing the 9-darter as well. It was, a very memorable afternoon being at Ali Pali. Not bad in terms of debuts for me going there and seeing one, but I've not seen it since. So next time I go there, hopefully a couple of players will pull out a 9-darter for me.
Yeah, I've never seen a 9-darter live other than the ones that I've marked.
Yeah.
I've marked 4. I've been in the same room as hundreds. I've never actually watched one go in other than when I'm stood next to the board, which is a good place to stand if you're going to watch 9-darter go in.
You've got the best seat, to be
fair. Going on the same theme, 9-darters. My number 1 was Adrian Lewis hitting a 9-darter against Gary Anderson in the World Championship final. I don't know, 2011, I think it was. So I was like 18, I reckon. And I just remember I was playing darts with my brother. We had the darts on in the living room, both playing darts. And I just remember just going absolutely mental when it went in. And yeah, that's my number 1. That's my favourite. It's probably my favourite moment in darts of all time. So yeah, Adrian Lewis's 9-darter against Gary Anderson. And then to go on and win the tournament as well is my favourite dart player for years and years and years, ever since I was a kid. And it was just nice to go and see him win that tournament. It was great, and that was his first Worlds as well. Yeah. That was the first one. So, yeah, that's my favourite World Championship moment of all time.
I think it was the first 9-darter in a final as well in the World Championship. We've obviously seen Michael Smith doing it recently. Well, you mentioned Adrian Lewis is your favourite. I've got to ask you off the back of that, are we going to see him back at Q School next year? What do you reckon?
He said he's not doing it, which I don't blame him too much. I would love to see him do it just for the sake of going and potentially just giving it a go. But I think he's smart enough to know that if he's not ready for it, he won't. There's not a lot of value in doing it. The problem is, I think, going from such a good dart player, such a well-known dart player, if he doesn't get through, there's going to be a lot of stuff against him. If he doesn't get through, he goes to Challenge Tour and doesn't win the Challenge Tour, a lot of people are going to be questioning him. I think he needs to go when he's ready, and if he turns up to Q School, he's ready to show up. So yeah, that's what I think about that.
We shall see. Well, my number 1 player that isn't going to Q School for a little while yet, Peter Wright, winning his first World Championship at the start of 2020. And people that follow our videos, our social media, they know I'm a Peter Wright super fan. But back then, he had one major title, the UK Open in 2017, and that tournament, Michael van Gerwen pulled out the night before. So there was a bit of an asterisk next to it because Peter had lost loads of finals to Michael. It was, you only won it because Michael weren't there. Played each other in the World Final in 2014. Michael won that night. 6 years later, they're back in the final again. And this time, to quote Rod Studd, Peter Wright gets it right, beats Michael van Gerwen, and gets his first world title. Goes on to win it again, but for me, as a Peter Wright fan, following the journey, obviously being from this area of the world as well, seeing him in local tournaments, seeing him get to the TV, to see him win the World Championship, all the years of work that's gone into it, yeah, that was a special moment for me, and hopefully we'll see him do it for a 3rd time in a few weeks' time.
Hopefully, yeah. Anyway, guys, let us know your favourite World Championship moments in the comments, and feel free to have a little discussion in there. Thanks, Alex. Cheers, mate. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we've been filming all day, so there's plenty of content. Stick your notification bell on and enjoy it. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.